It's August 2nd, and 2023, and today is my first Cancerversary. Last year on this day, I received a phone call that changed my life for the worse. But we're not here to focus on the negatives. I spent a lot of my first year with cancer focusing on the negatives, and it makes sense that that's what I did, that that's what happened. I'm not upset with myself. I'm not disappointed. That is kind of how things go. But I made it a year. I survived a year. That wasn't a guarantee. My initial prognosis was not a whole lot longer than that. 2 years. I survived 8 months of chemotherapy when normally you'll do 3 at once. I survived a very invasive surgery that could have resulted in me losing like 5 or 6 whole organs and a couple partials. And that result would have been better than what happened. But we don't get to choose the world we live in, but to an extent, we get to choose how we react to that world. So, on this, my first Cancerversary, I am choosing to celebrate. I'm choosing to throw a little party and to have fun and to enjoy myself. Now, I actually did this yesterday because I knew I wouldn't have time today because that's just how life works. That's why I'm so tired. I was up pretty late. And then, because cancer waits for no one, I spent the night in the bathroom with some intestinal distress because even on the best days, and I assure you, it was a very good day, but even on the best days, you can still have some bad outcomes, especially if you eat a lot of cake. So, we're gonna cut to some photos I took of yesterday, and I'll be back at the end. So a Cancerversary is a little party you throw with your friends, and I throw mine in several stages. We had drinks, a nice punch. Because of the chemo, we had no choice but to have mocktails, but a mocktail is still quite lovely. We put fruit punch and ginger ale and just a little bit of grenadine. Just a little bit of grenadine because it's already quite sweet together, and had a lovely drink. My friends loved it. The shark got a little bit more into it than you might like, but no, it was wonderful. And your Cancerversary should have drinks that you like, and it's probably also going to be a mocktail because, well, chemo and alcohol don't mix great. So for me, a huge part of the festivities, it's celebrating life, but it's also remembering death, and that doesn't have to be a big part of yours. That's definitely where I'm at, and I am quite comfortable with death, but that's not everyone, obviously. So you gotta have fun at your own party, obviously. Like I cannot stress this enough. It is your party. You are the one supposed to be having fun. Your friends are there to support you, and they'll also have a great time. It's perfect. But you gotta be silly, or you gotta be yourself. What you need to be is to be yourself, and I'm a bit of a silly person, so I've got to be silly. If you're a serious person and you want your Cancerversary to be a more formal affair, just so long as the food and drink you have agree with your diagnosis, it is perfect. There's no wrong way to do it. So now we are approaching the time for cake, the best part. And Unfortunately, my table doesn't really have room for the full tea set and cake at the same time. But what are you going to do? So my friends enjoyed their tea, their very pleasant tea. We all prefer green, but again, there's no wrong answer. If you want mint because it calms your stomach from the chemo, then that mint is the right choice. It's like this is all about us and our needs as cancer patients and cancer survivors, even if we haven't beaten it yet or never will beat it. I almost didn't buy this cake. I had a little panic attack because I didn't want to have to talk about what I was doing. Fortunately for me, the woman behind the counter is somebody I knew, and that made it easier because there was a conversation that could happen and it could explain it. My friend Lily has been tremendously supportive through all of this, and and just you should get yourself a better cake than I did. I bought mine last minute, and it's not to my taste. And you should definitely get that carrot cake if that's what you really want, or an ice cream cake, or whatever your heart desires, because those are what my heart desired, and I didn't have time or storage space. But to me, since we're together right now creating traditions, that I hope is a thing that becomes a thing. I think you should be the one to cut your cake if you are able. I think that's appropriate. I don't think there are many hard and fast rules other than that, but I think that one is. I think that one's good. Once again, being silly is very important to me, and you really, really need to lean in without shame for what appeals to you. So we ate some of the cake, and it was very good. It would have been better had I bought the right kind of cake for me, but what are you going to do? Living with cancer is a lot of making the best of perhaps not the greatest situations, and I think we're all very good at it at this point. And if you're not, that's fine. There's no wrong way to experience a disease like it. So, as the day turned to night, I had a campfire because I grew up in Northern Ontario and I love a campfire. I love a campfire with my friends, with s'mores and marshmallows and hot dogs. And we're actually under a fire ban, so I couldn't have all those things. But we sat around and it was nice. My skulls are there again as a memento mori. I need them. They're important to me, but I like morbid stuff no matter what. I wish I had bought more sparklers. I wish I had bought more glow sticks. I think that would have been more representative of me, but I was very happy. I haven't done something like that for myself in a very long time. I've been good about little things, buying a nicer cheese than I might need, or upsizing to a poutine or something at a chip truck. I've been very good about the little things, but I haven't taken a day just to indulge my idiot whims, and I need to do that more, and I bet you probably need to do it more. And I think that for us, especially if, like me, your diagnosis is terminal, I think it is extremely important to set aside days to celebrate and to be happy and to take back days that would otherwise be sad and upsetting, and to try and make something joyous about it. So there it is, my first Cancerversary. If I'm fortunate enough to live to my next one, it's going to be fabulous. I'll invite real people. But thank you for joining me. And best of luck with your illnesses.